I found this beautiful clock. The face is actually, I think, a reproduction, but the base of the clock or case of the clock looks to be original, so I'm really excited about that. I'm a huge fan of Nancy Drew, and this reminds me of the illustration from the Secret of the Old Clock book. And so yeah, I think it'll be fun to put out for mystery parties and maybe just have out as a general piece of decor. In the garage sales that I went to, I tried not to overdo it. I found this book, I think this was from the 60s or 70s, but a copy of Little Women, so it's kind of stylized. I thought that would be a good junk journal. For only $1, I feel like as an altered book junk journal, this will turn out really cute. I got this Coca-Cola tin. It's a reproduction, but has some really cool vintage Coca-Cola images on it, so I'm excited about that as a place to store different things down into. And then I also got this kind of fun cookbook, which is going to be the inspiration for a crafted loo a little bit later. But I love the fact that it was just really simple. It was obviously, I think, a homemade cookbook. This says that it was the women of Prince of Peace Lutheran Church, and some really fun little recipes down in that. But just a really simple kind of way to make a book. And I love the fact that it's just using these round clips and then the riveted holes there with some fabric. So I'm going to try to recreate something like that a little bit later. And then from the Goodwill Outlet, I also found some more treasures, including the clock, of course. But I got some Christmas goodies, some string, jingle bells. Always stock up on those two things when I find them, as well as vintage ornaments. This was originally a set of 6, but it's down to the 4 that are remaining. But I think they are kind of cool. They have that kind of sugary glitter sort of decoration on them in a kind of grid-like pattern, so I love that. As well as this adorable little ornament. Definitely got a kind of a vintage vibe going on there. And I think that that would be kind of a simple-ish craft project. I assume that's probably how it had originally begun its life. So kind of an embellished ornament craft project there. And I've got lots and lots of toilet paper rolls, as well as some of these little stickers and trim pieces. So I think that might be a fun one to recreate as part of my Christmas ornament recreation plan for a little bit later this year. I also found a fun kind of 4th of July holiday garland. I got this just a little cookbook or product book from, it looks like a pressure cooker or a saucepan. Yeah, saucepan pressure cooker. But just fun little illustrations on that. I collect these when I find them because those make good supplies for various junk journals. I got this adorable swimsuit. There was a whole bin full of vintage clothes, most of which were a little bit worse for wear, so I was super excited when I found this adorable swimsuit. I can just imagine the little person wearing this and feeling like they were the most fabulous thing at the swimming pool. In any case, I mean, it's not perfect. There's still a little bit of staining, and obviously being an older suit, it's kind of brittle. The elastic in it has definitely seen better days, but it's still in remarkably good shape. I think that would look really cool in a frame, like maybe up on the wall in a bathroom or something like that. And I know people do that with vintage swimsuits and swim caps and different things as well. So I'm going to call that one my find of the week because I think that that was absolutely precious, and because it was so light, it was practically free. I also got playing cards, which are really cool. A couple vintage thank you cards that are really cute. And this adorable little recipe book. Again, I think kind of like the pink vibes. This one's got just the blank little recipes in it, so it's not even been used. I think that's really cute too. That might even make a fun little junk journal as well as maybe pulling out the little bits and pieces of it. Again, if you watched recently, I had gone to an estate sale where it was fill a bag for $25, and I had all kinds of things. This little dolly was one of the first things that I found at that sale that kind of was like, all right, maybe I could find enough things to fill up a bag and make it worth my while. She obviously is missing her hair though, so a little bit of a kind of catastrophe going on here in the cosmetic department. In any case, what I was looking for when I was going through the Goodwill bins this week was something that I could use to replace her hair. And lo and behold, I found the most delightful black wig, which is almost the exact same color that her hair once was upon a time. And I think I'll be able to use that to kind of get her glammed up again. In just a minute, we'll get to crafting, but first I wanted to give you a quick spin through some of the new decoration that I put up here in the craft room. So I recently swapped out my 4th of July decor for something that was a little bit more general summer style, and used a couple old cake tins, turned upright as storage mechanisms for some different items that I'm planning to do some crafting with. Pulled out some other canisters and kind of stuck with like a red, yellow, blue sort of color scheme there with some of the cute little things I pulled out to stick on this shelf. And of course you might remember the little chicken plate from a recent trip to Nashville, and I think he looks just fabulous there as part of this new summer decor. Alright, so here is the book that I'm gonna model this on. Here's some vintage fabric that I got recently, and for cardboard I'm actually going to use this, and I thought about making a big one like that would kind of open like this, like a sketchbook, but I think what I'm going to do is actually make a smaller one. We're going to just use a piece of paper. Alright, so I made a template on a card to punch through on each of these. So here was the original cookbook that I used for inspiration, and here is the little sketchbook or notebook that I created. I added a charm onto it in addition to the embellishments on the front here, but basically the inside is more or less the same as this book. And I've just got little pages added on here, and again with a little back piece there, a stencil. I think that turned out really cute. What do you think? That's it for today. Thanks so much for watching, and if you're not already a subscriber, be sure to hit that button and click the bell so you'll get notifications about videos in the future. Thanks so much for watching.